I don't look at the word manipulation as a dirty word anymore.
Right.
Because you can frame it like this, like, okay, if a woman, let's say a wife is like horny and she waits for her husband to come home and she dresses in a sexy lingerie.
Right.
So that he will fuck her when he walks in the door.
That's manipulation.
That's technically manipulation. Like
it's exactly what it is.
Everyone's happy, but it's manipulate. You can still call it manipulation. Like you put a dress on a pig, it's still a pig. Like,
right.
It's. I don't look at it as a dirty word. And like women, that's the thing. Like men's primary tool for getting our way. Men's primary tool for getting what we want in the world throughout history has been violence.
Right.
If you think about it, that's how force and violence is the way that men got what they wanted. They asserted dominance.
That's our gift.
It's our gift, right?
Yeah.
But now in modern society, we can't exercise that because we have laws and we have police and we have structures, right? So we've gotten rid of men's tool. So the only tool that exists now is the female tool, which is manipulation. That's what women have always had. Women have always, the only tool they've had is the ability to manipulate others to survive.
Basically. Yeah, that's what I teach guys. In order to understand women, you have to understand their gift. Like our gift is our ability to, exert violence.
Yeah.
Like I always tell guys, like, and I'm speaking in reference to, because a lot of guys don't understand the things that females do and things that women do, and it confuses them and it shocks them. But if you look at it like this, okay, men have a gift. If you take away all of the laws, you take away all of the civilization, and we out, on a fucking out in the wilderness, right? Men have testosterone, which gives them the ability to carry out violence to exert our will. Women have to be able to survive, right? So they have the manipulation, the underhandedness, the being cunning and shit like that. And so this is the shit that you see in their behavior today. They just using their gift, but you can't use your violence to get what you want. You can't even use your resources to get what you want because, they can compete economically nowadays. So you can't even use that. You have to get them. You have to get them in the mind. You have to play their game with them, as far as getting in their head and being more underhanded with the things that you do, because you can't. Assertiveness and even a little aggression is only going to get you so far today.
Oh, absolutely, and it's gonna get you in jail most of the time.
Most of the time. There's sometimes where you can assert yourself, or you can even get a little aggressive if a woman is, not physically, of course, but they still respond to that. But at the end of the day, you can't do that. So I'm glad that you said that. As far as the male violence thing,
I would say in terms of that, like the way that some women will respond to that. It's kind of you can kind of tell the environment that a woman grew up in by how she responds to a man kind of like raising his voice.
Right.
Because like it's purely it's only the threat of violence if a guy like raises his voice or gets a bit angry and is like, hey, cut that shit out, like tries to be assertive in that way. Because really, there's always big daddy government behind you.
Right.
Ready to like slap you in irons and take you away to jail if you actually do anything violent, right? So and a smart woman knows that.
Right.
A woman who has like called a guy's bluff before knows that. Right? And so that gives you an idea of like the kind of environment she grew up in, her earlier boyfriends, maybe what her father was like. If she's willing to push that button because she knows that you can't really do anything.
Right.
That's kind of what I mean by like you can tell by her response to that.
I was speaking to a guy yesterday about this too. A lot of the times when women push your buttons like that, they know that they know that they can call the police or there's that big daddy government. But a lot of the times, especially today, women challenge weak men. Like women will challenge you. Women will challenge weak men. If you try to exert yourself or assert yourself to a woman and she senses you to be weak and she has the balls nowadays to challenge and put on posture, and they do this and they'll bitch you up, right? And it's basically her subconscious way of calling your bluff. Like guys don't understand this, even in the confines of a relationship. Now, let's say if your girl is, it's women are emotional, they get frustrated, they yell and scream. That's not what I'm talking about. But when you see a woman have an authoritative tone over a guy, and it's like, oh, well, what gives you the authority to say this, or who you think you're talking to, or they take this, you can even see their shoulders get broad and shit.
Yep.
That's a testament to how that woman subconsciously sees you as weak, and your barking isn't doing it for her.
Nope.
So it's like she's basically putting you in your place. I see this off the record. I show you exactly what I'm talking about off the record. Remind me, because I was talking to, shout out to MLD. I was talking to him about it yesterday.
Oh, nice.
We was watching something on YouTube, and we saw an event like this take place.
Yeah.
And I was explaining to him, she's basically testing his gangster. She's basically showing him that you're not the man that I don't think you're the man that you portraying to be. Yeah. So women will do that. And I like to tell guys, if you ever see that in your woman, it's time to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sign of disrespect.
Right.
Like it's a big sign of disrespect.